At that point into our simulated countdown.
Lunchtime, kids! Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
Well, hello and welcome to the Monday episode of The Lunch Break. It is Josh. In studio with me is Zach, Anna. In the production room is Matt. How is everyone doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing fine, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I look like I am so purple on this image right now.
I was looking at that earlier.
I look like Grimace.
Oh, I want to catch this here in a second. Good
Lord. It's absurd.
Josh. Oh, wow. Good Lord.
Ow.
Like you're in some sort of like
I'm
disco
still
tech.
waiting.
Yeah.
I guess
Sorry,
made Josh's
first
camera
drop.
worse.
Well, that's great.
Back that way. Is he a little bit more centered in frame? Let me solve one.
Not at all.
Oh,
No, not at all.
The other way?
Yeah.
This way?
These are things
There
that
you go.
normally we
Live
start
production
at
here.
doing before the show starts.
Let me
But
come.
Since
You want
we
me to come
came in,
fix your camera? I can.
No, it's fine.
Since
Okay.
we-
Great.
I'm just gonna roll with it.
Sure.
since we started
I'm just coming
8
to you
minutes
from
late.
McDonald's land today.
It just sounds like one of those rooms
wow.
where you shouldn't be. Naughty rooms or something. like
Right.
One of the
Yeah.
naughty rooms?
It does look like it's like the back room of some sort of seedy joint.
Wonderful. Oh, my
Good
God. Yeah, look
Lord.
at that.
that. It's hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah.
So either way, we're starting off with things that annoy me. And one of those is the color of Matt's skin currently. That effervescent glow.
Currently. Not
Yeah.
always.
No.
Do I look
Right.
this purple in person right now?
No, it just looks like you should be
No.
getting a suntan afterwards.
Right. Yeah. I'm in a purple tanning
You
booth.
look almost alien-y, I would say.
That is wonderful.
So one of the things that we're looking at today is a new trend that's starting, and I dare say it's even a trend. It is called the water challenge.
The hot water.
Hot water.
Hot water challenge.
Yeah, that makes the hot makes the whole difference.
Here's the thing. Some challenges I get behind.
Okay.
I'm fine with. The
Can you-
spicy noodle challenge,
Sure.
I was okay
Yeah.
with that.
The cinnamon challenge, that was a lot of fun.
Cinnamon challenge,
back
fine.
in the day. Yeah.
Those are things that you're deciding to do on your own as a consenting, I don't want to say an adult, but as a consenting person.
Yeah.
How are you on the? Did you partake in the ice bucket challenge?
I did.
as a public figure.
I had to at work. Yeah, they made me do it at work. And
was
so
it a group thing or was it you specifically?
just
had to do
me
it?
in my shower?
I did the ice bucket challenge at home in my shower. Nobody that I nominated did it after me, so I was definitely the death of that
Yeah,
somewhere
right.
along
You
the
ended
way.
that chain.
Yeah, I didn't do it. I was like, nah. I'd rather donate. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it.
No, not me.
Like you didn't want to. You
know,
thought
I
it would be uncomfortable or something.
I
or
don't know. I just somebody nominated. I'm just like,
You know, I
no.
don't volunteer.
know.
I don't do anything. So I was like, you know, if this is supposed to be good for some kind of cause or something,
Yeah.
why not? Like I can dump
That's-
a bucket of ice.
that's the spirit.
I don't donate to any causes. I don't volunteer. I'm starting to recycle. Like I'm not exactly a
starting
green
to
guy.
recycle.
So
Little
yeah, if I
steps.
can do anything for ALS, and that includes dumping a bucket of ice water on my head,
I'm
then
kicking
why
off
not?
the
Yeah.
purple skin
That one's
challenge.
easy.
Everybody should join.
Purple skin challenge is a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
The hot water challenge goes something like this: you get boiling hot water, or just really hot water, however
Scalding,
you want to do it,
at
but
least,
scalding,
uncomfortable.
Because I would say some hot tubs are pretty hot. Like when you get into them, it takes a second to kind of like
Sure,
slowly
sure.
get yourself,
Even
past the hips.
Even my bath, if I turn on the hot water all the way and I get in without being acclimated to it, it's a little warm.
Yeah.
A little hot.
This is a side note here. I don't want to chase this rabbit too far.
No, chase it as far as you want to go.
Are you a home bath taker?
Not often. I'm not not for cleanliness, I guess I would say.
Okay.
It's more like, it's been a long day. I just want to sit in some hot water.
Okay.
That kind of thing. Like the relaxing thing. I'll go for the bath bomb. I'll go to
Nice.
Lush.
Ooh,
I'll
good
go
for
to
you.
Lush. I'll
Hey,
pick
yeah,
up
there's nothing wrong with
a
that.
bath fizzy. I
Yeah.
love those things.
It's good
Oh
times.
my
So-
god, I haven't. You've put an image in my head. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
seeing you just putting some like Stevie Wonder or whatever, like chill
Absolutely.
classics. You know, like some candles. Oh,
I'll get a candle going.
I definitely jam some Benny King sometimes, like
Yeah.
with my little Bluetooth speaker in the shower. Josh, when was the last time you had a bath?
Well, sir, I shower
Well, I
all
mean,
the time.
like a bath, not a shower, for God's sake.
Thing
I'm
with
just,
baths, thing with baths
course you
for
shower.
me, and baths for me is that I am a bigger guy, stocky.
It's tough.
Some would say barrel chested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't do well in baths because the level you have to have the water
Yeah.
is kind of high, and so
you definitely have to pick and choose. Like, what are you soaking at the moment? Are you soaking your legs?
Right.
Or are you soaking your chest?
yeah.
You can't have both.
Christine-
as a human that's above 5'9", I think you can't have both.
Christine is an avid bath and shower fan. She's the kind of person that'll take a shower that's like 45 minutes, like and just hang out
yeah.
and like think about the ways of the world. And I respect that. There's a whole philosophy behind it. There's subreddits for it. But she does the bath bombs and everything. And so when we were looking for an apartment, she was like, amenity for me is something we got to have the garden tub, which is like a sweet hack for anybody out there. It's like a bigger tub. You seen one of these things?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the way to bathe
Yeah,
if you can
that's-
swing
Yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
think
that's
that's what we
something
have.
that's important to me if I
Yeah.
were moving.
Yeah.
Oh,
Garden tub. It's
okay.
nice. Yeah. Anyway,
Big
sorry.
tub.
Yeah. Baths.
Either way, so yeah, I would have to roll around and to get the full cover. That just doesn't seem.
I do the
Doesn't seem relaxing.
My life hack is you fill the tub up most of the way, pull the shower curtain, and then you turn the shower head on. So then
What?
you're sitting in the water, but you're also getting some hot water on your non-watered parts.
this is
it's
news
great.
for me.
Okay.
It's a great way to pull this off.
You gotta be careful on the water pressure and angle of the nozzle there, so you're not getting
Right.
sprayed in the face.
Yeah,
right?
you don't
Like,
want it. You don't want it in the face.
You just want that light kind of play of the water
Red
drop.
Yeah,
Steam.
it's like you're sitting in a nice warm pool on a rainy day.
I'll be honest. When I was living in London, I was living with a guy that was really, really tall, and I don't know if he bought these tub or if
How
it was
tall
just,
is really tall?
taller than you.
I'm 6'4",
Oh.
so
He was really tall.
they're like 6'7" or something. You're getting up there.
Was
Yeah.
he an NBA player? Or like what talking
No,
about here?
no. He was just tall.
All right, and he
And-
bought what?
I guess I think I don't know if he bought the tub or if the tub was already in the house when he
Yeah.
bought it, but it was such a big tub that I could fit without like having to kind of like bend my legs.
Really?
It's
Just swim in it.
insane.
And
I
how-
was like, what is this?
How tall are you? You're
5'4".
5'4". Got
5'4".
it. That's pretty sizable. That's
I mean,
no
I don't.
joke.
I wasn't like laying down, but you know, I like sit down and I could actually stretch my legs.
I
and it
imagine
would
one of those
fit.
like big iron tubs with the claw legs.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
yeah.
gonna
That's
go
the
back.
dream.
We're gonna go back and look at this thing. It's gonna be just a normal sized bathtub that everyone has. If you just,
It
like-
wasn't wide, but it was very long.
It's a long tub.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you
man.
swim laps in.
So
That sounds so luxurious.
the hot water challenge is you pour the scalding hot water. The issue I have is the recent trend with this is that this kid who was scalded, that's the word.
Scalded, yeah.
And scalded.
Yeah. Was 14?
15, I think.
15 years old. And during a sleepover, his friends, I say friends,
Friends, yeah.
his friends went and boiled a pot of water and then threw it on his face as like a joke, I got you,
While he was sleeping.
while he was sleeping.
Well, they did get him. To be fair,
So,
you got kid.
He's
Yeah.
in the
Watch
emergency
out.
room currently, trying to get his skin graft back on.
Yeah.
Because they literally scalded it off. That is not a challenge. That is assault.
Right.
They
Right.
assaulted him.
That
it
is-
is the hot water assault.
That is at the very least a misdemeanor, is what
Yeah.
that is.
It's
Like,
horrible.
my friends did a lot of dumb stuff. Me included. I'll say I did a lot of dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I would have never in 1,000 years been like, you know what a good idea is? Let's get boiling water and then pour it on someone while they're
Right.
asleep.
Right.
Yeah, the farthest you go is get a cup of the lukewarm water and you put their hand in it while they're sleeping.
Yeah.
Get a little of that action.
I did a
going
lot
on.
of the cold water, a bucket of cold water, sure.
Like in
All
the
day
shower?
long. Yeah.
Like-
oh yeah, all day. Yeah, but never the hot water.
I am not above throwing water on my friends while they're asleep.
Yeah.
Even if it's cold and there's blocks of things in it that could hurt them. But if it's hot water, that's where the line is. That's where
gets
I stop
burns
with the shenanigans.
from cold ice water.
I mean, that's true, I guess.
It's a shock.
There's no damaging effect.
You just almost feel like this wasn't a prank. This was, like two kids were like, oh, we don't like this guy. Let's have a sleepover
why is
with
he at your
Aaron.
house?
Oh man, that's the greatest social engineering ever. You assault another kid and you call it a challenge,
Yeah.
Right,
And put
yeah.
it on social media. Well done,
Yeah.
like brilliant.
We also have the baseball challenge. It's how many times you can hit with a baseball and be all right. Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
No, I'm just
okay.
saying that's what will
Well,
obviously
now
be
it
this.
will.
Right, the punch out challenge. How
Yeah.
many times you can get punched in the face?
So-
Definitely nothing okay about this,
Yeah.
right? That kid. I mean, there's photos. He's not in a good place.
No,
it's
no,
bad.
He's all
Like it's
bandaged
pretty
up.
graphic.
He's not doing well. The internet challenge. I mean, again, this is the old crotchety man syndrome. But gosh, the internet challenge thing just seems. I can't put myself in a place where if I were 15 right now, that I would fall victim to wanting to do one of these dumb challenges. Maybe, I don't know.
Did you ever wake your friends up, like if you were having a sleepover or something, and wake your friend up by holding their nose closed? Like,
No.
so they can't breathe and then they wake up?
No.
I never did that because I was afraid of what might happen. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm
Like
sure
you
they'd
might
be
accidentally
fine.
murder a person?
But what if they just weren't? Yeah, what if
Yeah.
they just didn't wake up? And, like, that was the bar for me. And, like, it seems like, and this is the internet. There's a billion people on it. There's unique individuals of every type, and there's certainly a place for psychopaths to hurt their friends. It seems like there's some people that don't feel that way. They don't have that inhibition. They're not afraid of what might happen. They're like, let's just do it for the lulz. And it's wild, man.
I think at the same time, like there's common sense and there's also the need to kind of impress people, but like it's not a fine line when you get to a certain point, right? Like you evaluate the consequences of things. It's not just like, oh, let's just do it. So, I mean, it's just dumb. I'm sorry. When people stop like acting with common sense, it is, you do wonder, where are we going as a species?
Yeah.
So the other thing that annoys me,
Yes.
because there's two in this things that annoy Josh segment.
Supersized.
Yeah, supersized segment. Is this new thing, and I'm gonna tread carefully, otherwise it'll be a long car ride home for me. The petograms.
The petograms.
Yeah, which is Instagram with pets.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing else. Just pets on Instagram. Petograms.
I'm not an
only.
avid Instagram user. You guys seem to be more into it than I am. You're not talking about any kind of separate app. This is Instagram.
Yes.
Yep.
Just like a specific account set up for your pet.
People turn their animals, their loved ones, into influencers. Now, I will say this is my cop-out because my wife and I, I'll jump on that sword as well.
Yep.
We created a Instagram account for our dog Beer, B-I-E-R. And it's private though. So
Okay.
no one else can see it. Just an account that she shares with a select few of our friends that wants to follow like Beer's
Funny
progress.
pictures of.
Yeah. So she's not trying to make her a social media influencer.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just Beer's account. If you know and like us, you can follow Beer's account. Fine. So that part I'm okay with because then I have the choice. She's not one of those deranged human beings who knows that my dog is going to be the next sensation, the grumpy cat, all those different things that you see out there right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn my dog into those things. And I say dog. There's dogs. There's pigs. There's cats. All different kinds of animals. One of them I don't know what it is. Like a little ferret, maybe.
Sure.
So they have the big ones. Obviously, Grumpy Cat, and Grumpy Cat I think was the OG. That was the original.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I think so
And
too.
unless you would count the Taco Bell dog.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it gets a little
Yeah.
fuzzy on going backwards.
Because you have
'cause
Star
to know.
McKenzie. You have those kind of like weird things. But as far as like social media, it's got to be Grumpy Cat.
I think so. I think Grumpy Cat was the first one to get like T-shirts and books.
Yeah,
and
and
stuff.
it's sponsored by Friskies, the whole thing. There's money
okay.
involved.
Well,
yeah.
why? Why does this annoy you, Josh?
It annoys because it's another one of those things. Not only am I entitled to be famous and loved by the world for taking sassy, hilarious photographs of myself.
Yeah.
Also, my pets are too so unique and so a beautiful butterfly. They also deserve to be loved by the entire world and adored with affection. And if they're not, then it's because you're a horrible person.
Sure.
Not because anything's wrong with my animal or it's just a normal everyday dog. That's kind of my thing.
So you don't think there's a certain amount of, hey, I have a cute animal and I can well, I mean, some of these people make a lot of money off of these accounts, you know? I could make a living
That's sad.
by exploiting my animal.
Yeah.
I think it's less the idea that you said that my animal deserves the love and affection of the world. I think it's more I get so much love from this animal. I need to turn that onto the world. The world deserves the love of my animal.
To share.
I should share the cute things my animal does to the world, and they'll appreciate it as much as I do.
If you could go, just to totally crush Zach's argument,
okay.
You could go. You could go to the Forbes page and just find some of the animals they have. It is Instagram Zoo is the name of the headline. Because there's a pig here in a little sun hat and a Hawaiian shirt.
Adorable.
Yeah, in a Corvette. That's not what the pig normally does. The pig doesn't get up and go, what Hawaiian shirt will I wear today? You know what? I will wear this one.
If he's an Instagram pet, maybe he does do that every day.
My wife swears that our Pomeranian loves to be in, like, clothes. And I will say, she does get excited when you pull her clothes out.
Okay.
She jumps around. She wants to be she puts her head in the shirts. So there may be something to that. Mm-hmm. But to say I love my pet so much, I want to share that love and that I get from my animal with the world.
Well,
is not true because now I'm manufacturing cuteness.
Right.
To go. No, this is every day. Like she just got in that pink Corvette. I didn't even know.
Well, Anna, you want to help me out here?
But I really want to hear it from Matt, the animal lover. But just right before that, well, isn't he like?
Yeah, we all have animals. I love animals too. I'm not.
The only one that doesn't love animals is this guy. Like it's fine.
Doesn't everyone have a title? Kind of. Matt
That's true.
has
Matt
all sorts of beautiful animals, so that's why I'm saying. But right before
the shepherd to the flock.
Sure.
The purple Matt
I mean,
Stoker.
I will say that. I guess it was earlier this year. We made a run at this. Not a hardcore run. Okay. But we have a dog named Rosie, who is very cute. I'll put her picture up. She's a little Sheltie mix.
Adorable.
Yeah. And so we thought, well, we'll just see what would happen if we started a Rosie only account. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Josh before the show, it's crazy how I won't say easy because some of these accounts have hundreds of thousands of followers and they're making a ton of money off of this thing, and that's one level. But how much more popular an animal only account is than say mine, which I don't actively go seeking followers, but I post what I think is funny stuff or weird things for Halloween or whatever like that. Like I post stuff that I like. But yeah, we started her account, and it was within a couple of days where she had over 1,000 followers, like almost immediately.
Yeah.
So, and then we just sort of got tired of having to manage a dog's Instagram account.
Yeah.
And we let it lapse, but
that's because you're not crazy. You're not like deranged, and that's not how you get like satisfaction from the world. Is because people liked my dog video, therefore I'm important too.
Yeah, I think if I were just at home, if I were a stay-at-home dog dad, I'd probably give it a shot. Yeah. And if that was, but yeah, trying to live a life, and then we got to take a cute picture of Rosie, and now we got to, which we had plenty, but. We have to think of something to write and do all this stuff. It was just it was a hassle that I didn't want to invest the time to like try to really make her something. But
yeah.
But I'll say something that has not been brought up.
Yeah.
The joy that it brings me to see other people's dogs in funny / silly / really kind of like unrealistic but amazing sets. Like that's something that I like. I follow like 7 or 8 or 10 different animal accounts.
Yeah, some of the ones that are listed on there. I don't follow Grumpy Cat, but I do follow There's a fox that
They had to give that fox away.
So I think this is a different.
There's a baby fox. Foxes stink.
They do stink. Yeah, there's a lady that has rescued a couple of wild foxes and raised them from babies. And they talk a lot about, like, it's not for everybody, but they do take cute pictures and videos of their foxes running around and playing. So I follow that account, and that's funny. But yeah, you're right. It's just these are funny pictures to see. So
right, and I mean, a lot of these pictures. Obviously, at some point, you know, you have to up your game to make more money and partnerships with brands. At some point, I'm like, well, the animals are going to be able to have really great, like, quality food and, you know, going to have pamper sessions, whatever. So if you look at it overall, I think, well, if the animal's well-being is fine and, you know, they can even provide with better living standards, why not?
Well, animals, you know, they're not going to be offering consent or anything. That's not
right.
something they
That's
can
the
do.
issue, isn't it?
It does seem a little unfulfilling professionally to be essentially the marketing director for
or fun.
You know, an animal that can't say yes or no. Like that's a little weird. But I mean,
like they're being harmed in any
well,
way.
no, but I mean, in the age of the internet, like I don't know.
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from. I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You haven't been following the right accounts.
I mean, I remember
There you go.
because I was on Instagram for a long time. When I first stumbled across what is like the animal side of Instagram, I was like appalled. I was like, oh my god, there is hundreds of thousands of hours that humanity has put into this.
it's crazy the amount of time.
You remember back in the day when people built like pyramids. Like
people didn't build pyramids for fun.
And right, but like look at
what can I do? Take a picture of my cat, or could I go build a pyramid?
Right,
today?
or like you know, yeah. My point is, I'm like, we used to do things that were like incredible monuments to what we were able to accomplish, and now like just hundreds of thousands of man hours into just typing on keyboards and taking pictures of animals. Like neat, you know.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have a police protocol has changed in Houston, and a fast food burger place is to blame. That and more coming up next. Whenever you're ready.
What's your number? I asked you a question. You didn't answer it.
4351. No.
What? It's 214 what?
Oh no, I was saying you're right, but that's right. I thought you had to spin it around.
What's your number?
Oh, I think I know what it is.
What's your number there?
Hang on. I got it. I know how to do it. Move! I know how to do it. I got it.
Well, if I did that, I just called Mom.
You didn't do it right. Hang on.
The show's broken.
Do I have to let it go back every time?
Why should be broke? I feel like it's broke. No, because you just answered it. Why have to pick up the phone first? You have to pick up the phone.
There they go. They got it at the end of that. They got it. You know what? Here's what I took away from that. What do you guys feel about people walking around their house without a shirt on?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was like, how about the kid without the shirt? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it.
Really? Not even in your own house?
Not
You're
in your own house. Wow.
You're buttoned up completely.
I'm not buttoned up. I'll have a t-shirt on. I put a t-shirt on like gym shorts,
Right?
Okay.
just to lounge around the house. But I just don't. It's hard to unless you're like ripped. I mean, like I don't
If
know
I was
who.
ripped, I'd be
Oh yeah, now
That'd be
coming to
coming
work
to
shirt
work.
on.
shirt on.
I'd be at CVS with like the smallest piece of fabric possible.
You'd be that guy that wears a button up to work without an undershirt, and it's always just like loose enough where like one can come undone right at the top. Like
Right.
just at any chance you could rip it off and
Yeah.
Superman your way through a problem.
Right, yeah, buy extra medium size
Right.
shirts. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Extra
medium shirts.
medium.
But it's one of those deals. I just feel like there's no good way to pull off. If you just have an average body, there's no good way to pull off being shirtless.
Yeah.
Big mad respect for the dads out there who just don't care. Like who've got the
Sure.
beer gut, who've got the whole mess, and they're like outside in the backyard on Saturday or something. Like,
Yeah.
why bother wearing a shirt? It's just gonna get messy anyway. Like
This is
mad props.
Yeah, this is another one of those off topic a smidge. The guy in college who would do that, and he had the beer gut.
Oh, yeah.
a thin guy, just had a beer gut.
Sure.
And then he had 3 of the ugliest hair patches I've ever seen.
Oh, God.
Just on the tummy, like around the belly button, and then stop.
Wow. God, within
and
reach.
then like 2 where angel's wings would go on his back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
just a bizarre gathering of
a
fur,
real shame.
and didn't care. Just.
My God.
I love seeing those kids being flummoxed by a rotary phone. It's so. I probably haven't seen a rotary phone in 30 years,
Yeah.
but the church where I used to go when I was a kid had one. I used to play on it all the time, but
to be fair,
I still know how to use one.
It did only take him like a minute to figure it out because inherently it's not that complicated of a device, right? Like
Yeah.
it's pretty simple. If they had been trying to figure out like a record player or a gramophone, like that could have taken forever.
I still
'Cause, like,
wonder
those
if
are
they
a
would
whole-
They did put together that you need to pick up the receiver first,
Right.
which they weren't doing. But then I don't know that they still understood how you actually dial
Because there was
the
one
correct
guy
number.
that did the all the way around, but it's what you have to do. You put your finger on one, you go to the beginning, let it roll.
Yeah.
There's one person who was putting it on the end and then like going to the number.
Right.
So yeah, I think they would have figured it out. Give another like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I get the not picking up the dial though. When I dial a number, like I don't dial like 1 first and then wait and
Yeah.
then 2 first. Then, like you dial the whole thing, then
If
hit
you
go.
don't hit,
like I
if
get
you don't
it.
hit a button and you don't hear a sound,
Right.
you then there's nothing happening.
Fair. But you're
Like
not
when you hit one on a phone now, corded phone.
Right.
Yeah. Then you hear a boop sound because it's going on to the speaker.
right.
So if you don't hear a sound, then you know that
Right.
you've done something wrong.
It is. I wonder how many. I'll say kids these days understand like the etymology of hang up, like hang up a call, because it's totally meaningless now. It doesn't mean anything. But used to you had to hang up the receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Now it doesn't apply to anything, but you still say it.
Yeah.
You don't get that satisfaction anymore. Oh yeah.
So
You hang up
Not
on me?
dramatic.
Slam. Yeah. Ah. Anyway. Yeah.
Call ended.
Click.
We now have a new police protocol happening out of Houston, and their concern was, I guess, some product placement at crime scenes. So I didn't know this. I had to kind of read more up on it. So the actual like police evidence markers that you see on crime scenes, the ones that are like yellow and have little measurements, those are only held by crime scene investigators. So normal police officers don't have those in their car.
Okay.
The patrol officers don't have those in the car.
Yeah.
The CSI.
The
CSI.
CSI crew. So if they're ever at a crime scene and they're worried about weather or rain or something contaminating the crime scene, they have to identify where things are and take pictures just to get a basic, hey, here's where this was, and I'm marking it. I'm going to take a picture, and then you know where to go. The problem is they have to be creative about how they mark. And so for the longest time, you've seen a lot of photos of Whataburger.
Yep.
The Whataburger little like
Placards.
things,
Yeah.
at crime scenes, as if there was a massive shootout in the parking lot of Whataburger, and they just ran inside and grabbed 1
do
through
the best
30 and took off, to the parking lot
And where was this happening?
in Houston.
Houston, Texas?
Yeah.
No surprise.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah.
So apparently they had to like pass a policy that you can no longer use identifiable markers. And I don't know why you just wouldn't go to like a sporting goods store and get those flimsy cones they have.
Sure, yeah.
They're like $1 for 30 of them.
On a cop's pension, who can afford it? They're not rolling into Academy. Like,
Well,
can I
then
get
they're-
80
then they're
cones,
stealing
please?
from Whataburger. They're
Yeah.
stealing
Who
property
in their
from
day
Whataburger.
has not stolen one of those placards from
It's
Whataburger?
still stealing. It's still wrong.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, they're just giving them out. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay a quarter. It's like an Aldi cart.
They're not just giving it out. They hand them to you to identify the customer. They're not giving it out.
If it works for Whataburger, it should work for us. I know we are the downstairs arm of a PR firm, so I don't want to get too far in the weeds on what a good move here should be. But like, Whataburger totally should have jumped on this, right? Like, made custom crime scene placards or something. They're like orange with white numbers or something neat, and been like ship a box to
here you go.
HPD.
I'm going to go ahead and say why that's a bad idea.
Please.
Because you don't want to associate your brand with delicious hamburgers and french fries with a gruesome murder.
Look.
So when you're sitting there looking at like bodies all over the floor that are strewn about, and your loved one is dying, and there's a puddle, right next to that is a Whataburger logo going,
Nope. I'll tell you why. Because Whataburger only exists in Texas. And Texas is the state of Stephen F. Austin and guns and shooting each other in the Wild West. That's what people think of us up north. It's nuts. I got relatives in Michigan. They literally think we're in the desert out here. Like, I could walk outside and take a selfie next to a cactus and a tumbleweed. People don't know that Texas is not actually that desert, arid climate Wild West. And I
Some
don't
places
see any
are.
reason why a food chain born and raised in the Lone Star State can't hold their own when a little violence goes down. Plus, Whataburger's open 24 hours a day, 24/7. Man, I went to UNT. I saw some things go down at Whataburger at 3 a.m. after all the bars closed, okay? They're not averse to crime scenes. And there's cops there half the time anyway. Why not? Why not get behind the local PD? Whataburger supports the police.
So I think the middle ground.
the blue,
I think the middle
right?
ground would be you don't brand the little tents. But if you're Whataburger, you say, hey, we're making a donation to the Houston Police Department.
Right.
Yeah.
We're buying you a bunch of, here's our supplier. They're making a bunch of these. They don't look like Whataburgers, but we can buy them in bulk.
Blue and says Houston PD on them. And there they go.
And here you go.
HPD.
If you have a need for these, here you go.
Yeah, please
and you
stop
get,
stealing our
You get
placards.
some nice press out of it, but yeah, you're not horribly linked to crimes for all time. It's like, please don't use these at a murder site.
We live in a world of it bleeds, it leads, all right? If I got to see crime scene photos, I'd like a charming little Whataburger logo in there somewhere.
Get a taquito.
That'll make me laugh. That'll be, hey, this isn't all so bad, all right? The world's not so grim. It's not so black and white. There's a little bit of orange in there, and I can respect that.
You don't see that and go, you know what I want? I want a number 4 with tater tots. That sounds delicious.
I'll take a Monterey melt, please, extra spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'm into it, but
it's a
all right.
horrible idea.
Different strokes for different folks.
On that same note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have another story about 2 kids doing the right thing in Colorado. Actually, 3 kids. I apologize.
Yeah.
3 teens doing the right thing in Colorado.
My name's Snubby Gun. This is my beat. My game, I'm a private eye. Call me anytime. After school, that is. When I play private eye, I come fully equipped with Mattel Snub Nose 38, snap draw shoulder holster, and the fastest wheels in town. When you play private eye, you have to be fast. Fast on your feet, and fast on the draw. Ready for action on a moment's notice. practice target shooting whenever you can. Load up with Greenie Stickum caps and Mattel shooting shells. If you want to play Private Eye, get this Mattel gun and holster set. It comes complete with wallet, badge, and ID card. Get extra Greenie Stickum caps, too. You can tell it's Mattel.
I would.
Well.
Sorry. I would love to see this ad play today.
Yeah.
Modernized. I mean, talk about hysteria.
Dude, that thing looks incredible.
Yeah, I want one.
I would so wear that if I had it. It's like a shoulder holster, like snub nose 38. Like it's so neat.
Just seeing the kid do the clip action with the load a bullet. It just,
I love it.
It's weird. It
Fast
is a
on
weird.
the draw, like turns around, has it out.
So that really spoke to me because when I was a kid, I used to record my own radio dramas, and my very first character was Matt P.I. I was a private investigator. Like, I don't know why I got this. I was like 4.
Yeah.
And I was Matt P.I., and I had a whole office. I put a name placard up on the back bedroom. Matt P.I., I'm working out of here, and I was going and solving crime. To the point where my kindergarten teacher had to call my mom because I wouldn't stop signing Matt P.I. on my homework. They're like, can he just sign his regular name, please? Can you just tell him to sign Matthew and
well,
not
first off, your kindergarten teacher was a spoil sport. And secondly, if anybody gets Matt for Secret Santa, like a sweet Matt P.I. shirt would be the way to go. Yeah, that's awesome. An office placard.
And one of those snub-nosed guns, please.
Yeah, snub-nosed 38 from Mattel.
So, speaking of kids, youth of today, they had, the doorbell videos are pretty popular with the Ring app they have now.
Yeah.
And usually when you see the doorbell video, it's not a good thing. It's someone swiping your Amazon package.
Right. If my next door is to be believed, they bust everybody for stealing packages.
I think the door app was the one that caught the person going to the bathroom in someone's yard in Colorado. Those are the kind of footages. That's the kind of footage you normally see on those Ring apps.
Sure.
However, we had a different video entirely. Do we want to say it first or show the video first?
Yeah, we'll show the video. Yeah.
Here's what happened when 3 kids were captured on the Ring app outside of Aurora, Colorado.
This will play. Hold on 1 second.
Stand by.
There we go.
Hi. We can't answer the door right now, but the camera is recording. So please just leave us a message. Thanks for coming by.
We found your wallet outside of your car, and we just thought we would give it back to you. So, I don't know. I'm going to put it over here so no one takes any money. So, you're welcome. Thank you.
I love that video,
man.
So here's some questions. One, the youngest one in the back is digging the entire time. He is.
Oh God, I didn't even pay attention to that. I'm sorry.
Do I need to re-rack that?
Yeah, just re-wrap it again because the entire time he is on screen.
So please just leave us a message. Thanks for coming by.
We found your wallet outside of your car.
just steady digging.
Never would have noticed that.
Yeah.
Over here, so no one takes
I was
money.
so innocent. I was like, digging? What do you mean digging?
Yeah.
I think he's got some cool shades on too.
Yeah.
I like that kid.
That kid's awesome. That kid was me. The boy and Brian or Barry or Ryan or whatever his name was, the kid that returned the wallet.
Yeah.
Haley, I think it was.
Well, Haley was the sister.
Oh, I thought that was the older one.
And then is that Haley?
I don't remember
because I couldn't tell if that was a guy or a girl. It's one of those like could go either way.
One of those arbitrary kids.
Yeah, but it's one of those. The video's grainy. It's far away. You know, everyone when they're adolescents sound like
they
girls.
all look the same.
Yeah. Just to save myself some. And she's wearing a Taylor Swift shirt, so you never could tell.
Right.
Anyway, the question was: were you in the same shoes at 13? And you come across a wallet on a sidewalk far away, out there in the middle of nowhere. You're riding your bike. You find it. There's 700 bones in the wallet. To a 13-year-old, that's $1 million.
That's all I'll ever need.
Yeah.
I'll never run out of money.
I'm running away.
Yeah.
What do you do? In all honesty.
I'd have turned it in. It's $700 at 13. I'd be like, dude, this guy's got to be like a drug dealer or something. They're going to send somebody after me. Like, there's no way I can get away with
somebody
this.
Will be looking for this money.
Yeah, I got to turn this in. Like, yeah, because it's $1 million, I would have been so paranoid, I would have turned it in. I also have a story about something I did when I was, I think, 13 or 14 that was actually a crime and not me doing anybody a solid, where I tried to do the right thing. But I want to get to the bottom of this first. Yeah. Would you guys have turned it in, or would you,
I think I would.
I'd turn it in for the wrong reasons. That's the problem. But yeah, you would probably.
Out of fear, you would turn it in.
Exactly.
Yes.
And paranoia. Yeah.
I can't ever remember running across a situation when I was a kid. I don't know that I ever found. What's the largest amount of money you found on the street? Like just a bill out? Because I found a $20 bill once on the street, which I thought I hit the jackpot there. Although that was in the last decade or so.
Mine's got to be like a 5. I don't think I've ever found a 10 or a 20.
Yeah.
I think I found a 22. A 20.
Nice.
A 22?
As well.
Yeah.
That is like hitting the jackpot, though. Like,
it really is.
Finding
Yeah.
20, that's a big deal. Yeah.
Do you look around for a second and say, I want to figure out who, like, is anybody looking for this money
That's
right
milk
now?
money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think I would have snatched it up.
You scooped
Yeah.
it. All right. Well,
The
I appreciate
wallet?
your honesty.
Yeah.
A friend
I don't
of
know.
mine-
I don't know what I would have done.
A friend of mine in London went to an ATM, and somehow the money situation where it pops out your money, it got jammed or something. And so it had something like $250 there.
Take it.
And he did.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like,
Hey.
how
Wow.
come that doesn't happen to me? Another friend found like a roll of notes, and it was from these really obscure coin. And he went to kind of like exchange it. It was in the middle of nowhere and nothing, no context or anything. And I was like, what if there's a lot? And then I thought, well, if I knew the money, maybe I would think like probably it's gonna turn into like barely any money with a conversion rate. But it still, my friend still said it was something like 100 pounds. So that was all right.
Them.
The $700. The thing that would have bothered me about that, because I can usually try to justify my way through a lot of things.
Sure.
His ID was right there, and that's what the kids said. They looked at the ID; it matched the address of the house right where they were. They had to walk like 10 steps to turn it in. I may not have done that if there hadn't have been an ID in there.
If you're right in front of the house to where,
Well, there's no ID. I can't prove anything. Like that would have been my
could
mental.
be anybody's.
Could be anybody's.
Sure.
I don't want to just give it away to some guy.
Right. Yeah.
If anything, I'll hold on to it for safekeeping.
Right.
you wouldn't
And
call
if-
the police and say, hey, I found
I
a
wouldn't call
wallet.
the police. No. What
Well,
are
you
they
hear
gonna do?
people doing that,
Pocket it?
finding money in a bag
You're
or
right.
something like that.
That'll
Yeah.
lead to cops buying placards at Academy. That's no good.
That goes into their Chipotle fund. Yeah, no, I'm good. For me, I would have waited to see if like someone would put like a lost and found kind of a thing. You know, I had a very gray, like I went through a weird period through like college and high school where it's more of like a gray area on what was right and wrong.
All right, this is your Fight Club years?
Yeah. If I could find any sort of way to justify it at all.
Personal gain?
I don't care how horrible of an argument I knew it was. If I could justify it, I would bet fine. That's fine.
I have a really, really good story.
Go ahead.
Oh.
And then I'll hit you with my really, really good story.
So, went out in college with friends, and somehow I changed my bag. And you know, girls, we have like a million little bags in our bag. And so because I brought a smaller bag, I kind of put the money in kind of like a coin purse.
Sure.
And then I put like my IDs and stuff on another one. Now, somehow down the night, this little young Anna got inebriated. Not too much, but
Sure.
you know, somehow, So I guess I like pulled one of the coin situation to pay for something, and my wallet with my ID fell off.
Oh.
I did not know this because we went, you know, on a taxi, whatever. So I paid with the other little like coin pocket situation. So got home, you know, went to sleep, wake up. Around lunchtime, I get a phone call. And at this point, you know, like I'm still doing my thing. I'm at home. I'm not leaving. So I'm not looking at anything. And so I'm actually very cautious with anything. So I never have that urge to get home and like, oh my God, I drank last night. Let me take everything. I don't do that because I trust myself. Anyway, so I wake up, get a phone call. And he's like, oh, so I'm agent so-and-so. And I found your wallet. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what do you mean? And he's, well, I'm in this area, and I had been in that area the night before. So it was like, and so I found your wallet. It only has your IDs here. And I'm like, hang on a minute. And so I go and check my bag, and I'm like, effectively, like I'm thinking this is a scam.
Right.
And so I open my purse. I'm like, actually, there's no IDs there. And so I'm on the phone to him, and I'm like, hang on a minute. How did you get my number? I have no number at all in that little pocket. So how did you find it? And he said, turns out you had like a membership card, let's say, at a Best Buy. So there's a Best Buy, air quotes, very close to where they found the wallet. So they went to that Best Buy, asked them for my number so they could reach me to give me my wallet.
That's how Matt P.I. would have done it.
Yeah. So is this like a police officer or just a guy?
No, he's a police officer.
Okay, so good. So Best Buy wasn't just giving out your number willy-nilly.
Yeah, no. The police officer did this and actually met him, and then I was like, "Are you so?"
That's crazy.
And then they,
Yeah.
and then they had drinks afterwards. It was a fun time for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's a really good story. I mean, someone took the extra mile to actually.
But you had no money in there, right? Like there was no.
No, I had no money. It was literally just IDs and stuff.
Here's what happened. The cops saw the picture of Anna and went, yeah, okay.
I'm going to chase
I'll
this one
go
down.
the extra mile. They see our mugs, like, sorry.
This guy doesn't
Some
need
poor
it.
slum. He'll have to go off and then find his own way over. Zach, you have a story.
I
and
do.
then we'll go
Yeah,
to
I was
break.
probably 13 or 14. It's the middle of summer. I'm in Houston. It's like 104 out. And I was just coming back from my buddy's house in the far back end of the neighborhood, back where all the, I don't want to say all the affluent people lived, but all the way really nice houses were. All right, because I lived in a subdivision called Terra Nova West, and he was back in the Oaks of Terra Nova West, like the fancy, that was the nice stuff. That's where the principal lived. Like that was the, And so my parents loved him to death. They never let us have like soda when we were kids. And he had like a bunch, that's how they worked, right? Their family had those, and all the cool video game systems.
Back in the highlight.
Kids.
So I've got like this sweet cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper, and I'm biking along on my trusty bike, and it's 104 out, and I'm listening to my stupid like knockoff MP3 player, like some stupid Third Eye Blind song or something, and I'm biking no handlebars, all right, hands free, because I was that cool,
living
kid,
the summer
right?
life.
Exactly.
Wow.
And everything's great in 14-year-old Zach's life, and I reached back. It's super hot, and I remember taking this big drink out of my drink, and I finished it up, and I look back down, and there's somebody's car just straight up in front of me, and I like slam to the front of this car, bends the hell out of my bike wheel, like
parked.
Big, yep.
Okay.
Like crunches in like part of the front of the car. I go straight up on the windshield. Alarm goes off. Just immediate halt to everything great in my life.
Oh my god.
Just like it full on. Car alarm is going. Like there's this huge dent in their hood and their bumper. I was like, oh my, because I was a big kid. I was like, that was some weight running straight into that thing.
Sure.
And I get up off the front of this car, like at this point my hands are shaking, like, and I look around, there's no neighbors that are coming out of the house, like what the hell's going on?
You're not hurt or anything?
Off? I mean, I think I was,
up.
but at the time I was so freaked out that I just slammed into some stranger's car that's parked in the street. And I look over and it's in front of this big house, like that has a big wind around driveway and like pillars in the front, nice house. And I'm like, I got to do the right thing. And so I run up to the door real fast and I ring. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do the right thing before I freak out and run, because that's my first instinct is like, I got to run. And I ring the doorbell and I wait. And in my head, it was a lifetime. But honestly, it was probably like 15 seconds. I ring the doorbell and I wait. Nobody's home. And I was like, that's it. That's a sign from God.
Scatter.
I'm home free. Yeah, but I go get on my bike with the busted up wheels, like a square now, and I'm like cycling to get out of there. And like some neighbor probably saw me coming out of the yard. Yeah, that definitely happened. And to this day, whenever I go back home and visit my parents, I pass that house, and I'm like, I wonder if I should ever go say anything.
No.
If it's ever worth just being like, hey, I was that kid that messed up your car. It was a nice car. It was a silver, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
In my head, it's like a Corvette, but like it was probably something reasonable.
When I was growing up, we had a house next to us, which was like a rent house basically, which was like kind of you might call it a 2-room shack, more or less. Had a living room
duplex,
and then but it was just a small red house that was kind of in disrepair. I don't think the landlord really took care of it or anything like that. So we didn't have a fence there. It was just our driveway and then this house. Mm-hmm. And when I was a kid, I used to think nothing of going out the driveway, grabbing rocks, and just like throwing it at the house. Just breaking windows in this kind of rundown like rent house.
Sure.
And it would always be like, I don't know how I didn't ever get in trouble. I remember my dad telling me stop doing that.
Right.
But it was never like, I mean, obviously, all the windows on one side of the house are broken on the side that's facing our house. Who else is doing this other than some idiot kid just throwing gravel at the windows?
Yeah.
But I thought it was the greatest thing in the world, and I don't know how I never got in trouble for that.
How
but
did you go from Matt
Yeah.
Matt to
A low
like
place for
criminal?
Matt P.I.
Yeah,
That's what
Yeah, no, I took a bad turn at some point, and I turned to the dark. I knew too much about how crimes were committed, and so I started committing them myself.
We're gonna take. Actually, I'm not gonna take a break because our time's running out. But I want to. We have a.
Just gonna plow through this one.
We're gonna plow through it. We have a hot sports take.
Uh-oh.
This is not the show that normally does hot sports takes.
No.
But we're gonna do a quick little around the horn of something that's of two things that are happening right now in sports. And the first one will be the quickest one, because it is the most controversial one, and it is the NFL. And the NFL has said, passed a hard and fast rule. Every player must stand for the national anthem. If they don't, they'll be fined. Some players go, fine me, I don't care. The Cowboys, however, have come out with their captain, Dak Prescott, saying that essentially what he said was, look, I'm all about protesting. But this is not the time or the place. You protest on your own time when you're not on the job. Zeke Elliott said, we're America's team, and therefore we stand for the national anthem. So those are two sides of the same.
I love the Cowboys still hanging on to the America's team moniker.
We don't say it. Other people say it about us. Other people, when you ask, who's America's team? Dallas Cowboys.
That's a lot of years out of date.
Haven't won in a while. No.
Yeah,
look it up. Look it up. Recent polls.
Recent polls.
Yeah. And the other hot sports conversation that I think Matt has a thought about is the beloved jerk. I saw him a jerk. He's just so needy for attention. Sure. Pete Rose. Pete Rose is a guy, if you're unfamiliar, he was a Hall of Famer, was going to be bound for the Hall of Fame, got caught in a gambling on games. He said he only bet on himself to win. That shouldn't be against the rules.
Like Jordan.
And now he says, I never gambled and I did, but I didn't. He's going back and forth on what he actually did or didn't do. He's been banned because you can't bet on baseball games if you're a player.
He is in the WWE Hall of Fame. I just want to point that out.
Well, good. That's all that really
Vince
matters.
McMahon's got his back.
Yeah. So, of course, when you're outside of the glass house, you keep throwing pebbles to try to break in.
Of course. I know a thing or two about that.
Yeah. And so he's now accusing the Major League Baseball Association, MLB, of juicing up balls for a more exciting baseball game.
Juicing up balls?
Making them more springy so you can hit more home runs.
Springy balls.
And
like cork and bats, basically?
Essentially.
More or less.
Here's the deal. Like, for a while, when the guys were juicing themselves, when they were taking steroids, the Mark McGwire, the Sammy Sosa's, the guys who swore they didn't do it, but they went from like $110 to like $280 in the matter of like 3 months.
And they were jacking like 15 home runs a game.
They were getting like 5, 6, 10, and then just going to town, getting 61 home runs in a season. That doesn't happen, by the way. Either way, neither here nor there, baseball was more exciting to watch. And so MLB goes, hey, I don't want to affect players' health. Let's just make the game more fun by adding balls that may have... Now, again, this is all just accusations and Pete Rose conspiracy. But if it is true, I think Matt and I both agreed we're fine with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Baseball, I don't care if you love baseball or not, baseball's a boring game. It really is.
Okay,
and if you can spring up those balls and start hitting bombs out of the park, more power to you.
You can make jokes about the Dallas Cowboys being America's team, but baseball is America's pastime. It always has been, and always will be. If you're going to make any... I was the one who was like, I think basketball's boring, and you need to change it up and make it more exciting. And you guys jumped on me
and
like I
those
committed
balls
a
are
crime.
bouncy as hell.
And you're telling me that baseball deserves like a refresh? That deserves a redo?
I'm not saying it deserves anything. I'm just saying if they do it, I'm not going to be against it. What we were saying is, let's go a step further. Let's turn that warning track into like a what's that?
Trampoline.
A trampoline. Yeah. So ball's too high, no problem. Slam ball action.
I dig it.
Hop up on the wall. You know.
Why don't you just cut out the dugout? Make them stand out in the open in case they get hit. Like that's a good time.
Everyone is in play.
Throw some Whataburger placards down there.
Anyone can play. It's just basically like cricket. You all have to go out on the field at some point in time. We just hit balls and run around.
It is curious. There are a few variations on what baseball is. There's softball, right? And there's a whole idea of bigger ball, and it comes at you from a different way. So you got to hit it differently. I know Christine's in the comments talking about Japan and ball weight over there. I think, honestly, when you told me the story, the first thing I thought was the same thing you guys thought. It was like, Okay, go for it. Like,
I'm all about it.
What are you gonna make it more boring? Like, it's not that it's boring. I love baseball, but like, if you're talking about making it objectively more fun for everybody involved, how could I not be in support of that?
Yeah,
great. Yeah,
here.
Make them run a little faster. Make them jump a little higher. Like, sure, go for it. Yeah, I demand entertainment of the highest value.
In your face, Pete Rose.
Yeah,
in your face. That's all the time we have. We're coming back tomorrow on Wednesday. We'll be right here, same place, same time. You can follow us, like us, and go to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, you can find us wherever podcasts are found after the show. Look for RNCN, The Lunch Break Show. I am Josh. That's Matt. That's Anna. And that's Zach. That's Anna. And that's Matt in the production room.
What?
See you guys
Coming from the purple room.
Wednesday.
Power